Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Exehaven Harbour. Well, I was planning to go out of there this morning. It's wet, very wet and horrible, very autumnal now. It's been a long time and to be fair, I've lost my mojo a little bit, but it's coming back now thanks to, actually it was only one thing really, watching Ewan the other day and seeing the progress that he's made on his layout, and I thought, oh, that's really sort of got my juices flowing again. And I was going to go out there this morning, but it is so wet. I've got so much in terms of like hoovering to do out there because there's so many cobwebs that are built up now. And now that I've racked out my garage, the hoover sits out in the garage now rather than in the cabin. So I've got to go to the garage, walk it all through the garden, through the wet and into the cabin. So that has kind of put me off this morning. So I won't be doing that, but I'll take it over to the dining room table, which is obviously my modelling table most of the time. And I have been, even though my mojo has gone a little, I have still been building the cargo ship since we've returned from our travels. And on that note, we had a fantastic trip. And, you know, it was an absolutely amazing journey. What an experience. We've been experienced life in Sydney, the Blue Mountains. We went north up to Cairns and stayed in a beautiful place called Palm Cove. Travelled a bit further north to Port Douglas, where we went out to the Low Islands, where we dived on the barrier reef and saw the fish and the coral, and it was unbelievably fantastic. And then we come down south a little bit further and we went to Brisbane, met up with some really good old friends of ours, and we had a terrific 10 days with them. And you know, much wine was drunk, but we took advantage of the fares. The Queensland government had decided that all fares are 25 cents, or 50 cents I think it was, which is 25 pence UK money, wherever you went. And we just, even though I had a hire car, we just took the train and bus everywhere, and we travelled down to the Gold Coast, which is about an hour and a half on the train. And then we went up to north of Brisbane at the start of the Sunshine Coast to a beautiful little island. I think it was called Brimby Island or something like that, and beautiful beaches and fantastic. It was brilliant. And we went to different places. We went up into the mountains around near Brisbane, went wine tasting, you know, eating out, and it was just fantastic. And you know, it seems a bit of a distant memory now, but something that will live with us forever. One of the highlights was actually, for me, was climbing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and you know, what an experience. And I think me and Mrs. Exehaven will look back at one of those things in our lives that we couldn't believe that we were standing on the top of it. It was brilliant. So anyway, so back to the model railway, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. This is just by way of an introduction really, back into it. Hopefully I'll get this video out in the next week or two, once I can get out in the cabin. I might be able to get out this afternoon, we'll see how it goes. This week I was meant to make a start out there, and I've been struck down by either really bad man flu or a touch of COVID, which I'm just getting over. So I haven't felt like doing anything really this week, and it was only yesterday and today that I actually feel like getting back at doing a bit of modelling. So catch up with you in the next bit. See you then. So we're continuing with the freighter very slowly. I think this segment is probably about 2 weeks after the last segment that I filmed. Honestly, it's been impossible getting out to the cabin. I haven't got out there since I've come back from Australia, and you know, I'm itching to get there. There's so many things going on at home, and honestly, it's just madness really. I just haven't got enough time to get out there. But in the meantime, I have been slowly but surely working on the freighter, and I've gone a bit further and I've built all of this area here, the bridge area, let's call it that. We've got the funnel on now. All of this took quite some time to build. It's quite intricate, a little bit annoying because I misread some of the instructions and had to go back and do some of it again. But that's one of the things with Scalescenes kits, you can reprint them. And you know, you can reprint the page you want rather than printing the whole thing. And I had to do that, but it has come out really quite nicely, and I'm very pleased with that. Now, what we're looking at here are the sides of the ship. Now, this is really tricky, and just to cut them out takes quite some time. You can see all the curves that they have. There's not really a straight line, to be fair, and you know, you have to do it freehand. I think there's one bit, if I move that forward, I think this bit down the front at the bow, that was the only straight line. Even this line along here, it's at an angle, but there is a very slight curve in it, I think. So if my memory serves me right. But yeah, I cut most of that freehand, and even the cut out pieces on the side, which releases the water off of the deck back into the sea, can't remember what they're called. You know, they're very fine in N-gauge. It's probably only about 2 millimeters wide, if that, and that's, you know, in itself, you just got to take your time and do it. Now, what I wanted to show you, because I've already got obviously this side on, and what I do when I do this is I start there. The starting point actually is the port light. I think this is the port on the left. Or is that the right? No, it's starboard. I'm facing around the wrong way. I start here because there's a cut in, if you can just see there, which cuts into the light, and you have to roll that underneath, and that is so difficult to get that shape. And even now, there's a little bit of a crease in it, but you know, it is really, really difficult. And it's a piece that I would call, or Ian's N-gauge, hello Ian, this is the tricky bit, because this has also now got to be obviously glued in, folded under, because it's all of that kind of ship shape. So there we go, move that back down. I'm just holding that in there now, but as you can see, so that's all got to be glued. The whole side's got to be glued in, and it's hard. I've got to say, it's hard to get it just right. I done it on the other side, and it did take a lot of work, a lot of swearing, and that's where we're at with that. And once I get that on, then we can move on a bit further. But I think once this side is on, it will actually look like a ship. It's you know, if I turn that round where it's glued, it does look like a ship. It's a freighter. So that's where we're going with it. Working hard, but not very often, sadly, at the moment. I think I have been in contact with a few of you just commenting on your videos and saying that I'd lost my mojo a little bit, which was true. But now I haven't. But I'm finding it so frustrating because I just can't get the time to go out there. This is a very brief window that I've had just to film a little bit more. And I think once I get that stuck down in a minute, it may be another week or so before I get anything else done, because I've just got so much on. So there we go. Okay, so a little update for you, and I'll come back to you maybe when the ship's actually complete. I might do a couple of little bit other pieces where maybe there's some of some interest, maybe of some interest. So we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm actually back out in the cabin, and as you can see, it's in a complete and utter mess. So my intention is now to the first thing is to clean all this up, and then have a damn good hoovering round, just, you know, to get straight again really. The past few weeks since I've been back from Australia, and it is a good few weeks now, I've just been piling stuff on here as I've been doing stuff at home around the house and stuff. There's a few tools, a few bits and pieces that have been put on here. Mrs. Exehaven has wanted me to tidy up indoors, so we've bought a load of other stuff back in, and just put it on here for now. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon, is get on with clearing this up. The other thing, and let me just move that out of the way because I'm running out of room here. The station is going to be smaller. I've decided it's only going to be 3 tracks. The reason being, I'm going to have I think I'm going to have the rear 3 tracks, which will be 1, 2, 3. I'm going to raise them, and they will meet with the back bridge over there, rather than everything coming in onto this track down here. I've decided I'm going to go for a slightly different approach, because if you can see right in the back distance, the track that I've got halfway round there will come right round and be raised and come right round here, and will go round to join up with that bridge at the back, and these last 3 tracks, or the 3 platforms that will be Exehaven Harbour station, will actually join on there, because I think the junction that I've got going down there is a little bit too complicated in terms of, I can get my finger there, where are we, there, here, that comes off the main line. I could straighten that up a bit, but I've just decided that I think it will look just slightly better being slightly raised, and the raised height will be the same height as these arches here, although I won't be using those, I don't think, for that, but it will be about that high. So that's the plans going forward. I just feel, for me, it's just slightly less complicated. I think the initial thing that I set out to do when I started making this new iteration of Exehaven was to try and keep it as simple as possible. And although it's reasonably simple, I want a lot less points. I know Paul Sheedy, hi Paul, hardly has any points on his layout now, and I can see the benefits of that. I mean, my layout really is, the intention is, because I just love watching full-length trains run round, you know, albeit passenger trains or freight trains. I just want to watch them go round. I'm not really into shunting and that point of view. I'm into the modelling and watching the trains run through all the lovely scenery and buildings that you can do. And you know, it's given me time since the Australia trip to really sort of have a think about it, although I haven't had time to get out here, but I've obviously not stopped thinking about the layout, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it, you know, I'm going to still use that kit that I bought, that German kit, and anglicise it and make that as the main station back here, or the main station building for it back here. But there is another option. I mean, Exehaven Central, or Town Station, which will be where that viaduct is at the moment, covered, it could be used there. So either or either, it doesn't matter. And that will be another project maybe for over the winter to start building that. So yep, plans are afoot, trying to simplify it a little more, and I want to get a whole circuit done because I'm not running any trains, and I love running the trains. So yeah, if we can get a full circuit done in the next few weeks, month, then I'll be a happy bunny. And what the other intention is not to over film it. There may not be quite so many updates at the moment. I just want to get on with it without having to film what I'm doing. But having said that, knowing me, I might do an update or two, although it might be a bit difficult at the moment because I've just broken my tripod. So I may have to order another one of those. Okay, so that's where we're at. I might make this just like the update video for coming back, if you like, and I might leave it at that. And then the next update, maybe in a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe a bit longer, but we'll see how we go. All right, everybody, so cheers. Right, okay, everyone, I'm going to end this here, this video. Otherwise it's just going to be going on and on and on. You'll see at the beginning, you know, I have been working on the cargo ship, the Scalescenes Cargo Ship, so that's a little ongoing project that I've been doing in the evenings, and you know, that I enjoy doing that. And as for the new plans for the Exehaven Harbour station, that will be ongoing now. That's given me another little impetus to change things around. I've since the last segment, I've probably spent an hour and a half in the cabin just starting to take part of the Exehaven Harbour station track plan or track apart. So you know, moving forward, it's another part of the layout, I think, which I can simplify a bit more than what it is now. So so yeah, that's you know, for me that's a great thing. Moving on from there, like I've mentioned in the previous segment, I want to get that full circuit done so I can get some trains running again. I watched Jerry Allen. I don't know whether many of you have watched him, but Jerry Allen, Kampala Road, and I've watched him for a long time, ever since I started thinking about building a model railway, to be honest. Hello Jerry, if you watch this. But his recent video was about trains and, you know, rolling stock that he hasn't run, and I'm actually getting to a point now where I haven't. There's one or two locos, I think one really, but one or two locos that haven't really been run at all, and I want a circuit so that I can start running them around. So that's the plan going forward. Like I say, it might be a while before the next little update, but I want to just crack on, because filming it, as you guys know that do film your layouts and so on, it does take up time, and time is, you know, short really, because I know Mrs. Exehaven has got a few projects for me to do over the winter indoors, so hopefully before Christmas I can really get a good crack on. So I'm going to finish it there. Thanks very much for staying with me. I don't know what the viewing figures are going to be like of this one. Everybody's probably forgotten about me now, but take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.